Hey traders, it's the Chan Man and happy Wednesday. Welcome guys to a midweek update. It's been a fun week, a volatile week, and it should be an interesting one as we head into the end of it. So as always, guys, going to dive right in, share my thoughts, share some setups. Let's get a little bit better. So if we take a look, guys, at some of the major catalysts for this week, one of the biggest things we're dealing with is OPEX, our option expiration, which is going to take place, officially on Friday when the market closes. But it's always important, guys, to note that the week of, right, I call OPEX week, there's always going to be a lot of chop, a lot of pops, a lot of drops, and a lot of premium crushing. So this is something that we want to put a big focal point on. We got through our CPI numbers today. That was really one of the bigger catalysts of the week. And we'll talk about, guys, kind of, what the market did leading into that, what it did, during and after, and what we can expect the rest of the week. But finally here, guys, a few more catalysts. One is we have retail sales on Friday morning. So that'll be interesting to see. What do we get? What does it do? Kind of our final economic piece of data for the week. And then a few extra things here, guys. TSM, Taiwan Semi, they report earnings on Thursday morning. I'm going to share a few chip sector stocks, such as NVDA and AMD, and then we'll talk about how this reaction might set up some of those stocks. And then finally, guys, Google is splitting end of week. They're splitting on Friday, which I believe is going to be reflected on Monday. So technically, they're splitting Monday, but they are splitting Friday, and we will see it on the 20-1 on Monday morning. So that should be a fun one. But other than that, guys, let's dive into charts and let's talk about it. So big thing, guys, that I was looking for this week, we had some major structure from a handful of weeks ago with this downside trend line. And as we started to near where we failed last week, one major thing I was looking for, guys, was a double top, right? If you guys follow the newsletter, we talked about this earlier in the week, so make sure you subscribe. But we really have had a perfect thesis unfold, where what I thought, team, was that we could double top where we failed last time, right? Get that big picture M here and roll back down right towards those lows that kind of created that M. And that is exactly what we had got here. And again, guys, we want to understand OPEX and CPI, where it made sense that we kind of rallied into this week, started to top out, bleed into CPI, and then potentially just pop back into the middle for OPEX. So that is one scenario here. The personally, as I was targeting on that double top, dropping back towards some point of control levels, 38.28, and back towards some of these structures, which we ended up hitting our first one here, popping back, having our CPI, and taking out that other structure, kind of starting to make these a little bit invalid. So for this conversation, guys, let's get rid of these structures, and let's talk about a bigger picture here. So again, guys, the main theme with OPEX is understanding that we can just chop back and forth with liquidity. Right now, we have the daily 21 right up here where we failed on CPI. We failed the day prior. Another major level, guys, is 38.28, which is a big point of control level. We kind of dove through it here today, hit a big old POC, 37.74. You also want that on your chart. And we went right back to point of control and failed here. So again, very big levels, guys. And to the downside, our biggest level is going to be this 37.41-ish, which we made a few weeks ago and really haven't broken that since. We've gotten very close and even very close this morning, but we haven't quite tested it or broken it. So for now, it's a bit of a stalemate. And if we zoom out here, guys, just to kind of give my final perspective on the market, let me zoom out a little more. Here we go. So again, the big structure I'm targeting is from the highs here back in late March, early April. If we extend into the future, we failed beautifully there last time. So one thing, guys, that I am looking for here, if we take a look, right, coming into this week, was looking for a double top near that structure, and we got the double top. But now if we zoom out a little bit, we now might start to get a little bit of a double bottom if we do hold this continued range. And again, guys, for OPEX, I would be very anticipating of going back to POC, going back to the mean, and just kind of sitting between these ranges, right? Between that 37.40-ish and between the daily 21. We very well could just sit here for the rest of the week. But if we do zoom out, guys, as we start to head higher in the market, we have a lot of work to do to get back to bullish. We got to get back to this range, and we got to get back to that structure, which again could happen here, this week, next week, whatever it might be. got to start to work back towards these levels. If we don't, want to continue, guys, to again, just navigate our way and chop, stay patient, look for pushes back and forth to point of control. Or if we do end up reaching this key level here and breaking it, we could continue to sell off, but one step at a time. Got to get that 3740-ish, got to get that structure, or we can go back and forth to liquidity. So I hope I'm making sense here, guys. Let's go take a look at NQ. Let me just clean this up a little bit. Alrighty, guys. So if we take a look at NQ here, another thesis I had coming into this week was very simply, guys, just a double top at where we failed last time. Get back to that double top and then absolutely implode into our CPI numbers. That was my thesis, looking to take out this structure here from when we started to bottom. We topped out nicely, we broke the mean, and we got right to that structure here this morning on CPI. And now we're just kind of back right at point of control, sitting in the middle. So again, for this one, guys, be very mindful of chop. But if it does fail this range, we easily could roll right back to here. If we start to break this key zone, looking for this 11,348 is kind of that next target. If we were to break down through that prior low of year, if excuse me, if for some reason, guys, we do roll back to the structure and start to hold, want to start to pay attention to our recent resistance, right? We kind of trended down, rejected it today. Or if we do start to bottom, we'll see if we kind of reverse through that downtrend and start to work our way back. But again, guys, big picture here, still got a lot of work to do to be really, really bullish. But if we zoom out, we got that double top, right? Completed it perfectly. And now it could start to turn into a double bottom possibly, right? Always lots of little scenarios here. Hope that makes sense, guys. So I want to dive right into chips because those are my favorite setups right now at the moment. So let's take a look at NVIDIA. So if we take a look at NVIDIA, guys, been talking about this all week, and honestly for a handful of weeks. Been watching this downside structure on NVIDIA. Awesome short last time it got here. Awesome short this week. Another beautiful bleed. And a major level I've been talking about, guys, is this 152, which was the earnings low. You can't quite see it on this chart, but was also the prior low of year, aka a huge inflection point. Once we got to it, we failed super hard. Once we recovered it here, we really didn't want to let it go. And once we've let it go, we've continued to fail at it. So you can see here, guys, my target for NVIDIA this week, if it failed at this structure, was getting back to this point of control. Got back to it nicely and started to give us a higher low to start to observe. Let me see, I don't know why this looks funky. There we go. So again, we'll kind of just stay zoomed in here. A few things, guys, for NVIDIA. And again, I want to keep an eye on TSM's earnings on Thursday morning, right? So tomorrow morning, this could be a great catalyst, guys, to send this up or send this right back down, depending on what they say. But right at the structure here, guys, again, for tomorrow, it's right around that 152. If NVIDIA is weak and fails here, looking for a drop, guys, back to 148 and back towards that point of control and structure. If for some reason, guys, it rolls here and bounces, that's a whole nother story. But if it does get through here without rolling over, I want to be careful, guys, on the upside. But if it again breaks through this structure and holds that 152, personally looking for 156 and then back up towards the daily 21, which as of right now, probably going to drop down a little bit. Yeah, I would assume, guys, drop towards like 158, 158 and a half as we head into end of week, right? By the time you listen to this, heading into Thursday, it'll always step down a little bit. So it's just called the mean right around here. If we break this inflection point, looking for that target. If we fail this inflection point, looking, guys, for 146. And let's take a look at AMD. So if we look at AMD, guys, this is an awesome setup for spreads and an awesome setup, just to trade in general. But it's under some major levels and just stuck. It broke that prior low of year. Absolutely flushed straight to a major weekly level, started to build some structure, rejected that level, broke down, kind of got stuck in the middle here. And actually today, guys, showed a lot of relative strength where a lot of names, we gapped down hard. We broke yesterday's lows. AMD kind of just chilled, guys, right at yesterday's lows, open at it and exploded. However, all they did, and hold on, I can get rid of this trend line. All they did, guys, was pop back to that key level. So again, name of the game, guys, is always trying to trade as close as you can to inflection points. So again, if tomorrow is a negative event for chips or they just simply sell off, going to be looking, guys, to look, get an entry near the zone and short AMD back towards that 74. However, there's also two scenarios. Let me just move this down a little bit. Here we go. Another scenario, guys, is that AMD gets back to the daily 21, something that it hasn't done in a very, very long time. And I think it will happen if it can get through this 79 level and cause that cover pop. So again, guys, maybe chips report, TSM reports good earnings. We see a little pop tomorrow, whatever it might be. If AMD holds, gets to this level, I think it can cover pop to the daily 21. Am I super bullish on it? No. I'd love to buy the dip here. That'd be better, but it's right here for now. So a cover pop through is definitely one scenario. And again, if it fails here, team, being patient, because again, I think it is a good place to allocate risk, but it very well could just fall in the middle and chop all week. So keep an eye on this one, team. As long as they're, in between these ranges, want to be patient, but as we get closer to each side, want to look to take advantage. Let's see, guys, one more setup for you. Talk about Shopify. So if we look at Shopify here, team, very basic setup, but very, very powerful for the last handful of days, weeks, months. Shop continues to hold 30 and continues to reject 40. Simple as that. Last week, exploded off of 30. Awesome move. Right back to liquidity. This week, guys, CPI, bleed, straight back to that good old zone. We're starting to get a little bit of structure here to work with. So let me just erase these alerts. Here we go. So for Shop, guys, again, might need a little bit of patience. But if it works its way back down to here, Thursday or Friday, right, and it holds this key zone, I personally, guys, like a dip buy, whether it be this week or next, looking to play it back up towards this liquidity zone and back up towards this structure in the next handful of days, the next week, whatever it might be. So in the middle, guys, personally be patient. If it does pop to here first, you could look to short it. Vice versa, if it gets here, I think it's a good potential place to look for a dip buy. So that being said, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Covered, the index is here. Covered a few setups I think are worth watching. And hopefully you guys found some value. So as always, guys, keep an eye on those catalysts. Keep an eye on these charts and levels. And let's go finish the week strong. Appreciate your time, guys. Thanks again.
Hey, Focus Chain here with Simpler Trading. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss anything that we do. And if you want to see us trade our money live in real time, go to simplertrading.com and you can sign up for more. But happy trading, guys. Stay focused. I'll talk to you in the next video.